Let's go to Jacktown, to Fishtown, Yipsy and Kazoo. Let's go to G-Rap and the Sioux. Let's go to Cereal City, Christmas City, Tulip City, the Capital City, the Motor City. Let's go to cities and towns that aren't like other cities and towns, and they've got the nicknames to prove it. Let's go to the cities and towns of pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
You're watching OCTV, Oxford Community Television, serving Oxford, Addison Township, and the village of Leonard. I'm John Ochins, and welcome to Schooling Around. If I mentioned auto technology classes, you would probably think of people, young and old, learning to become mechanics. At Oxford High School, there's much more to it than that. Yes, you can become a certified auto mechanic, but you can also take part in national competitions and win scholarships that can lead kids to much more. In fact, the Oxford Auto Technology program has a winning record that has endured for quite a few years. When we come back, you'll meet the head of the Oxford Auto Technology Department and hear about some of their victories and challenges. We followed the auto technology program during the past school year and had a chance to sit down with teacher Dan Balsley and some of his students several times after different events. Balsley talks about the Ford State competition and his auto tech program.
A national AAA Ford troubleshooting competition. It starts with a regional test. Back in January, the guys, about 30 of the students, took a test to see if they could qualify for state finals. Only 10 schools qualify across the state, and we were one of those qualifying schools. So we found out in March, and we started preparing for the competition. In the state finals, there's going to be a 2014 Ford Fiesta that we have to work on and diagnose and repair in the least amount of time. So at the state finals, 10 of these cars are all bugged identically. They don't run, they don't start, they don't run well. They have electrical issues. And so when the contest starts, the guys find out what the causes are and begin diagnosis and repair. My guys did very well, obviously. They were able to diagnose the faults in the least amount of time. We were the first car to get running in the competition, the first one to go into judging, and the only clean car in the competition. There were 2 other cars that went into the competition, and neither one of those cars were clean. They both had to go back for more repairs. Ours was the only clean car in the competition. When the competition was over after 90 minutes, there were still 4 cars left on the field, and there were no other clean cars. So then in the awards, we actually found out we not only won the competition, but we also were the highest qualifying school in the state of Michigan. So we got a first place award for highest written scores, and another first place for, of course, finishing first in the state.
Now, a little mouse told me that this was the first time this ever happened to you, right?
No, actually, it's not. I've had one other clean sweep like this where I got a first in written and a first in the state. I've won state 4 other times. So this has happened to us before. We've also qualified for state, I think, 25 times. So not my first time.
We hope you'll do better next year.
I hope so, too.
Tell me, how do you practice for something like that? I mean, you don't know what's going to be wrong with these cars. So what kind of runs do you put the kids through to get ready for something like this?
That's a good question. What I do is lean on the good folks at Skelnick Ford, and I ask them if they would let us use a car that's similar to the car that's going to be used in the competition. They let us become familiar with the vehicle, the systems, how the circuits work, and that type of thing. So they loan us a vehicle to prepare on, And then I try to come up with things that I think the kids need to know. We start practicing those things so that the kids are more well prepared. If this works well, when we go to the competition, when the gun goes off and the competition starts, it's like being right back at the shop for them, and they start doing what they know how to do, and it really does work well. One of the students said at the end of the competition, I was right, that it really did take away the jitters, that once they started doing the things that we'd practiced and things that they knew and the car was familiar, that the jitters go away and things went smooth.
Now, Ford was the sponsor of this event. Are there other auto companies that sponsor events that you can participate in as well?
There are some sponsors for, say, the MITES competition, and that's being sponsored by a number of community and trade colleges and universities, as well as some of the local dealerships. But this is the only one that I know of that's like that is backed by Ford.
There's more than just trophies given out for these things, right? I believe there was some scholarship money that you guys have won so far. Can you tell us about that and what's to come?
There's $31,000 in scholarship offers right now. There may be some additional offers as we go along. For example, $10,000 just for University of Northwestern Ohio. And depending on how we finish in nationals, there is a possibility for the students to get a full ride to some of these schools.
Now, tell us a little bit in general about the program here at Oxford High School. How long have they had the automotive technology program?
I believe it goes back to '82 when the current middle school was built. It was built with an auto training facility. I hired in '86, and I've been doing this competition since '86, '87. So we've had an auto training program here for a number of years. The program that I have is an introduction, an auto repair class. That's 1 hour, 1 semester for the novice, someone who is just interested, has no background, no skills. And we go from that to an Auto Tech 1, 2, and 3. And in the Auto Tech courses, we're trying to get them ready for state certification. So that would be in all of the state areas. In fact, we're offering the state certification testing next Tuesday here at the high school. If they pass that test, they are licensed by the state of Michigan as professional technicians.
So does this start their freshman year and then go on through their senior year, all these classes?
Yes. As a freshman, they can take the introduction course, and as a sophomore through senior, they can take the year-long auto technology classes.
Is there anything else you'd like to brag about for this fine program that you have?
I am very proud of the program. We've got a number of accomplishments, but I'm, I guess, most proud in my students and watching them grow and seeing them become fine young adults. I'm real proud of our team this year. I think they have a good chance. They're a good, strong team. They have good diagnostic skills, and I'm proud of the people they've become.
Student Mike Smith was one of the kids who helped us win the AAA Ford State competition. He tells us more.
It was the AAA Ford competition. It's state competition. We took first. We're going to go to nationals.
Wow, first place. Now, what led up to this?
Skelnick let us borrow a Ford, and we had to take a written state test to be able to compete. We took in top 10 in the state test written.
So you had to take a written test first. And what kind of stuff did they ask you on this written test?
Just stuff that had to deal with automotive. It was like anything from transmissions to shop safety, anything.
And okay, so you had to qualify with the written test first, and then you went on to the state finals. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Mine and Alan's scores were the top in the state, so we got first place for that one too.
And what kind of things did they score you on when you were there?
At the competition?
Yes.
It was how professional were you? So like all the clips and everything was put back into place. All the faults were gone. So like all the light bulbs worked. You fixed everything.
So tell me how that works. How do they set this up for you guys? Do they kind of sabotage the car and make a lot of things wrong with it, and then you have to discover what's wrong, or how does that work?
There are 10 cars. They're all sabotaged the same. They're bugs. And so like light bulb, anything from light bulb to mass airflow sensors. I mean, they make so these things don't work, and we have to figure out what they are and fix them in 90 minutes.
Okay, so you and your partner were one of the teams, is that right?
Yes, sir.
What kind of stuff did they do to the cars that you had to fix?
Stuff's like light bulbs and other than that I can't say because they're still doing state tests and other.
Is it secret? And if you told me, you'd have to kill me, right?
Pretty much, they're doing another. Michigan's one of the first states to do it, and at Nash, so they don't want other states to know what's wrong with the cars because all 50 states are doing the same thing.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about these trophies here? And I'm going to move aside so that the folks can see them. Come on over here. I don't know, Bill, is this a good spot? Okay, I'm going to hold the mic up. You go ahead and have at it.
This one right here is one for the high exam, so the written test. Our combined scores were the highest in the state. The other one is first place for the actual competition for working on the car.
So, do you get to take these home at all?
He said I can use them for like my graduation party, but then he gets to keep them.
That's great. We're very proud of you guys. Congratulations. Dan's team did go to AAA Ford Nationals, but placed 24th due to some tough luck. A fuse was dropped down a fender well, and much time was spent recovering it. Balsley said it was still an exciting experience they will remember the rest of their lives. In a moment, a look at another competition.
Congratulations, OCTV, as the 2014 winner of the American Legion's Best Electronic Media Award, symbolizing your efforts to provide meaningful coverage of veterans' issues and patriotic activities, as well as the American Legion.
The Mites competition is put on by Washtenaw Community College, among others. There were scholarships at stake there, too. Balsley and his team explain.
These boys were involved in the Mites competition. It's an automotive competition held down in Washtenaw Community College. Both of these boys were in the advanced level, and Chad Blond did especially well, ending up in third place overall. Give it to Chad and let him tell you about some of the places that he got and the scholarships that they earned.
Okay, you're Chad, right? And your name is Chad Simmers. Congratulations. Tell us a little bit about your win. I'm going to let you hold it so you can hold it close to your mouth.
Okay. I came in third place overall, first in general auto, second in electrical, fourth in suspension, fourth in engine repair, fifth in written portion, fifth in brakes, and eighth in math. I got about 35,000 in scholarships.
When you say 35,000, is that with a dollar sign in front of it? Wow, where do you intend to go to school?
I'd like to go to UNOH for agricultural diesel,
UNOH.
University of Northwestern Ohio.
Really? What city is that in? I'm not familiar with it.
It's in Lima, Ohio.
Okay, so you're not too far away from home then. I'm sure your folks appreciate that. You're a senior this year, right? You're a junior, so you've got one more year to go before you go on to college. Well, congratulations. That's a great feat. You did very well.
Thank you.
Okay, now this fellow over here must be James McCormick. Is that right? Or else you look a lot like him. Jim, tell me a little bit about your victory.
I got 6th place in engine repair, 3rd place in suspension, and 8th place in brakes. I got $7,000 to UNOH, $2,500 to Ohio Tech, and $1,000 scholarship to MIAT. I am intending going to UNOH for agricultural diesel.
So you guys plan on going to the same school, right? And you're a junior as well? Okay, and you want to major in agricultural diesel? And what was your major, what do you hope to major in?
Agricultural diesel.
Congratulations to you both. Dan, could you give us a little background on this particular competition?
The event is designed to offer the students a number of different categories to compete. For example, they'll have to compete in brake service, which would be to reassemble a wheel cylinder, make lateral run-out measurements on a rotor and minimum thickness, service type of things. A lot of the competition is geared toward the service aspect. So it's very hands-on, it's very time-consuming. They have to identify components. They have to bend tubing and flare tubing. And that's just in the brakes category. There's also suspensions and engine rebuilding, engine performance, where they have to download fault codes, diagnose no-start conditions. The competition really takes all day. We register at 7:30 in the morning, runs right through until about 3:30 in the afternoon, and then they do awards. But they do awards for each of the placements. So there may be 5, 6 areas, and they do awards 1 through 10 for each of these areas. There were somewhere around 150 students participating in this, so for these guys to do as well as they did in each of these areas is really impressive.
Who sponsors this particular contest?
This is actually sponsored by some dealerships that donate vehicles. It's also supported by the host, in this case, Washtenaw Community College, but a lot of the money comes from the different schools that are supporting the scholarships. So Lincoln Tech in the past has been involved, UNO and some of these other places that the guys mentioned are providing lunch, are providing the scholarships, and are sponsoring the costs.
And how do you prepare for something like this? Do you have any clue as to what's going to happen when you get there?
A little bit. It does vary year to year, and I guess next year it's going to be completely rewritten. What they're doing is they give us areas that the kids need to be proficient in, and then I'll meet with the kids usually before or after school and give them some training in each of these areas. So I try to anticipate some of the things that they'll run up against in the competition and prepare them for those areas of service. So I'll set up a brake station and we'll practice those things. I'll go along and do identification with the guys after school. So for a couple of weeks, pretty intensively before the competition, I try to get them ready in each of the areas of competency so that they can do well. Of course, a lot of it is falling on their background, the general knowledge written test. They have accrued that information over a period of years. So there's some areas that they just have to be well trained in over time.
Was there a particular kind of car that they were working on while they were there, or was it you just didn't know?
The car that was there quite a bit was the Fusion. They were running a 2014 Fusion that was donated from a local dealership. So they had 3 of those there. But then the other cars, I think, were cars from the Washtenaw Community College Service Lab.
In a moment, we'll take a look at the Auto Tech trophy wall. Stay tuned.
I see it! I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Now Dan Balsley takes us on a tour of their awards.
These are some of the trophies that we've won. We still have a couple more that we need to fit in someplace. They're not in any particular order. This is a first place that we got in 2001. We have one in 96, 2009, 87. These are trophies that you get from not only qualifying for state finals, but also placing first, second, or third. We even have some where the high written score in Michigan, as well as the successes for participating in the competition. The program is ASE certified, NATEF certified, so these are some of our accomplishments as well. We have this showcase for participating all the way back to some of the competitions in the late 80s, as well as this other showcase that has some additional trophies that the program has won from working in the same competitions, primarily AAA Ford, but also some other accomplishments both in certifications, my personal certification, as well as the program certifications and accomplishments.
All right, so I see 3 trophy cases here. 2 of them are yours, and I won't say who the third one belongs to, but it begins with a B, I believe. But they say they're really working hard to catch up.
Auto Tech has come a long way during Dan Balsley's watch. He shares his story.
School. Dan, you've been here for a few years, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
How many years have you been here now?
It's 27 years here and 33 overall.
When you started here, I mean, you've got quite a victory record. You've won a lot of awards, and you have a pretty impressive track record here. when you started here way back then, did you have a vision for this department?
Actually, I did. The auto program was not like it is now. And I came in with a lot of energy, a lot of ideas, a lot of enthusiasm, and was actually reprimanded for it. My boss was unhappy. The students were unhappy. They kept telling me, both the students and the staff were saying, "What are you trying to do? This is only Oxford." And I had a bigger vision, and I knew we could really do something. And I was pushing hard for change. In the first few months, I'd made so much change that the paper came in and did a story on it. Students began to see that I was really trying to accomplish technology training and began to support the program. So I'd say by mid-year, I had some support of both the students and staff, and it just kept growing from there. I started getting involved in the competitions and winning at a state level, and it just kept building.
So when you started putting this program together, what did you have in mind? Was it competition? Was it helping these kids get a job? What really was going through your mind?
I wanted first and foremost to be the best auto training program that I could offer, the best for the students and for myself. I pour a lot of time and energy into the job, and I wanted to make sure I did the very best job that I could. And I believe it's very important work. I think I can make a difference in the students' futures and in their lives. And so I take it very seriously, and I try to do the very best job I can.
I think you've made a difference in a lot of kids' lives. I'll bet you've got quite a healthy number of kids who've graduated from engineering schools, as well as just gone on to work for various dealerships and mechanical companies around the area, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I do. I go into the local repair facilities, and they're being run by my former students. I have former students in the service area. I go into the local dealerships, like Skelnick has been very supportive of our program, and half the technicians there have come out of my program. So it's good to see the students out there working in the field, gainfully employed. I have an excellent job. It's a chance to see the kids grow so much in the time that I have them. When they come into the program, a lot of times they're just riding on a skateboard, wearing their hat backwards, and now when they leave, they have skills, they have certifications, they have self-esteem, they discover themselves, and it's great to be a part of that and to see that growth in my program.
Dan, you've accomplished so much in this here program. What goals do you have left?
Well, I want to keep going. I would like to be able to continue to touch lives and have as much impact as I can with the young people that I work with. So I really do appreciate the position that I have, and I want to continue to try to touch as many lives as I can.
Not to mention win the AAA Ford National Championship pretty soon, right?
That would be a nice accomplishment. I haven't done that yet.
Everywhere you turn in Oxford is a new opportunity for fun. From the sandy beaches of Stony Lake and Scrifter to the many different sporting events and other recreational activities held at Seymour Lake Park. For those who like long walks, you can find yourself exploring the Pollyant Trail throughout Oxford's more scenic areas. And if it's seclusion you like, look no farther than Oakwood Lake Park. So bring your family or friends out to see one of our beautiful parks today.
And before we know it, the quest will begin again, re-qualifying for AAA Ford State, having a chance at mites, winning scholarships and trophies, and maybe even the Ford AAA Nationals. It's about more than just fixing cars. Please join me for My Life Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m., Saturdays at 10 a.m., and for the weekly school news after Auto Talk Monday through Friday at noon and 11, Saturdays at noon. Thanks to Russell Courier on camera, Dan Zwies at the editing desk, Kyle Snades at the controls, and you for watching. This is Oxford Community Television, keeping it local.
At Oakland County Parks and Recreation, we value what you value: family relationships, community connections, good health, environmental stewardship, and economic stability. Oakland County residents and businesses have invested in preserving nearly 7,000 acres of parkland. Active recreation options abound. Cross-country ski or mountain bike on tree-lined trails. Scale the rock climbing wall. Get your kicks with soccer at several sports fields. Row or paddle a boat on 4 picturesque inland lakes. It's an easy journey. Most parks are just a short drive away. When outdoor adventure's on your list, there's fishing, beaches, boating, playgrounds, and seasonal hunting. The campgrounds at Addison Oaks and Groveland Oaks feel like being up north, with plenty of recreation options. Want to get fit? Hit the trails. Oakland County Parks boasts more than 68 miles for strolling, walking, hiking and running, biking, or horseback riding. If the links are your lure, 5 golf courses, including premier course Lion Oaks, are conveniently located. Our recreation lineup rocks. Learn to swim. Experience an outdoor adventures camp. Take the fast track at BMX. Or gain new lifelong skills. Everyone's included. Individuals with disabilities participate in dozens of adaptive opportunities, including a new fully accessible playscape, modified golf carts, and annual events. There's always something special going on at Oakland County Parks, whether it's a classic car show, the Oakland County Fair, a senior golf tournament, or the Ellis Barn Festival. Being green is an everyday practice with nature interpretive programs, wildlife habitat protection, reduction of invasive species, and stormwater management. Oakland County Parks serves an increasingly diverse population of all abilities, ages, interests, ethnic backgrounds, and cultures. The needs of lifelong residents, as well as newcomers, are carefully considered when planning parks and programs. During the last decade, the Parks Commission has purchased 297-acre Highland Oaks, acquired Catalpa Oaks, an urban park in Southfield, added new campsites and cabins at Addison Oaks, opened dog parks at Orion Oaks and Lion Oaks, relocated and reconstructed the historic Ellis Barn at Springfield Oaks, and built a universally accessible playground at Waterford Oaks. Since the park system's creation in 1966, voters have never been asked to increase the 1/4 millage rate. Oakland County Parks and Recreation has provided all that you value for more than 40 years. Future plans include expansion of walking, hiking, mountain biking, and ski trails, increased green initiatives to protect wildlife and water resources, $1.5 million to improve parks infrastructure and facilities, a 3-acre dog park at Red Oaks, serving as a resource for community recreation planning, computerized reservation and registration systems, and an enhanced interactive website. Oakland County Parks and Recreation promises to continue its commitment to excellence. We will uphold high maintenance standards, offer clean and safe parks, and preserve and protect the environment while operating in a cost-efficient manner. We value what you value. Next to liberty, our outdoor heritage is the finest legacy we can leave to our children.
This is OCTV, Oxford Community Television, serving Oxford and Addison Townships with the best in local programming. On Charter Channel 191, AT&T UVerse Channel 99, and our website, OCCTV.org. OCTV, we provide local programming that brings you closer to home.